Crespo is going to be hosting for Let's Talk Football the Round Table. And Let's Talk Football ladies.
Hey. Hi, everybody. Delilah Crespo here with another episode of Diversity with Delilah. All right. So today I'm going to talk about quarterback Joseph Robert Garcia Kapp, also known as Joe Kapp. He's a former quarterback for the Minnesota Vikings. All right. So born in Santa Fe, New Mexico, Kapp's mother, Florence Garcia, was of Mexican-American heritage, while his father was of German descent. He was raised in California in the San Fernando Valley and Salinas. He played quarterback for Hart High School in Newhall, which is now part of Santa Clarita. Kapp played college football at the University of California, Berkeley, where he led the California Golden Bears to a Pacific Coast Conference championship in 1958 and the Rose Bowl. Unfortunately, they lost to Iowa when they made it to the Rose Bowl. This remains California's most recent Rose Bowl appearance. So again, not since 1958 with Mr. Joe Kapp at QB. All right. So Kapp was named an All-American and was also awarded the W.J. Volk Memorial Trophy in 1958 as the outstanding football player on the Pacific Coast. A two-sport athlete and fraternity member of the Kappa Alpha Order in college, he also played on the basketball team and was a member of the 1956-57 and 57-58 squads that won the Pacific Coast Conference championships. He earned a degree in physical education from the University of 1959. Until 2021, Kapp held the UC Berkeley record for most rushing yards by a quarterback. It was broken by Chase Garbers. Washington has selected Kapp in the 18th round of the 1959 NFL Draft, giving them his rights to play professional football in the United States. However, Washington never contacted him, so his only choice was to accept an offer from Jim Finks, the general manager of the Calgary Stampeders of the CFL, also known as the Canadian Football League. Kapp joined the Calgary Stampeders of the CFL for his rookie season in 1959. The following year, Kapp led Calgary to their first playoff appearance in years. The season was difficult because he injured his knee, but he kept playing. He continued to play because basically it was just taped up. So even though he was hurt, he didn't miss any games. Remember, this was, again, 1960s, right? 1950s football, where injuries weren't looked at like they are today. In 1961, the BC Lions, then the CFL's newest franchise, traded 4 starting players to the Calgary Stampeders for Joe Kapp. The move paid off for the Lions when Kapp led the team to a Grey Cup appearance in 1963. The following season, Kapp led the Lions to their first Grey Cup victory in 1964. However, the Lions proved unable to defend their championships in 1965. While most quarterbacks dislike being hit, Kapp wasn't that guy. Apparently, he was always known as this rough quarterback. He liked taking hits, and he always tried to actually run over the defenders when they tried to get at him. That was just the type of quarterback that he was. Before the 1967 CFL season, Kapp made the decision to return to the U.S. to play pro football. The AFL's Oakland Raiders, San Diego Chargers, and Houston Oilers were heavily pursuing him. But Kapp ended up signing with the NFL's Minnesota Vikings in a multi-player trade between the CFL and the NFL teams. One of the very few transactions to ever occur before the CFL and the NFL. So he wound up on the NFL, not the AFL. Remember, this before everybody came together under one NFL umbrella, so there were 2 leagues going on at the time. In 1968, Kapp led Minnesota to their first ever playoff appearance, losing to the favored Baltimore Colts to the favored Baltimore Colts 24-14. The Colts were upset a few weeks later, though, by the New York Jets, who went on to win Super Bowl III. Early in the 1969 season, Kapp tied an all-time record when he threw for 7 touchdown passes against the defending NFL champion Colts on September 28th. He is tied with 7 other players for that: Sid Luckman, Adrian Burke, George Leanda, Y.A. Title, and Nick Foles, Peyton Manning, and Drew Brees. So he's tied for throwing 7 touchdown passes. Kapp led the Vikings to a 12-2 record and a berth in Super Bowl IV after defeating the Los Angeles Rams 23-20 in the Western Conference Championship games and the Cleveland Browns 27-7 in the last non-Super Bowl NFL championship game. However, unfortunately, as you know, Minnesota hasn't won a Super Bowl. They've made it there. They've made it to the mothership. This is one of them with Mr. Mr. Joe here, Mr. Joe Kapp. So again, he did lead them, but unfortunately, they lost 23-7 to the Kansas City Chiefs on July 20th, 1970. Sports Illustrated dubbed Kapp the toughest Chicano, which is another word for Mexican American, by the way. If you're not familiar with the term Chicano, Chicano tends to refer to Mexican Americans, specifically in California. A lot of Mexican Americans from California call themselves Chicanos. He wound up on the cover of its weekly magazine. He received a team MVP, but he refused MVP award, saying there's no just one MVP Viking, it's all of them. With the top pick of the 1971 draft, the Patriots selected quarterback Jim Plunkett of Stanford, the winner of the Heisman Trophy. At this time, Kapp was traded to the Patriots. So he was traded to the Patriots in 1970. In 1971, the Patriots decided to go with Jim Plunkett, which I also talked about in 2 seasons ago in the Versity with Delilah. I actually mentioned it because he's also Latino. A lot of people didn't know that. But anyway, there's a few seasons ago, focusing on Kapp. But Kapp refused to sign a contract. He felt that he got a crummy deal, that they wanted him to sign with a standard contract, and he refused to sign it after talking to his agent. They're like, no, don't do it. And so even though he reported to training camp in 1971, he felt the contract with the Patriots was unfair, and so he just quit. And of course, as Boston does in any other football town, all the Boston papers read, Kapp quits. After this incident with the Patriots, Kapp decided he was done with football, as far as professional football anywhere. So so he never played, and his 12-year career as a professional football player was over. So again, he did coach for college, but when it came to professional football, basically he just stopped playing, and he never returned to it after dealing with these contracts and things with the Patriots. So, as head coach, in his first year as head coach in 1982 for the Golden Bears, of course, he went back to his alma mater. The Golden Bears improved from 2-9 the year before to 7-4. And he was voted the Pac-10 Conference Coach of the Year. The 1982 season concluded with the play, apparently it's very infamous. I'm sure all like you college football fanatics probably know. The famous 5 lateral kickoff return by Kapp to score the winning touchdown on the final play of the big game against Stanford, their arch rival. So again, apparently it's a big deal. I'll have to go look at the tape. But he was the coach of this team at the time who did that 5 lateral kickoff return. During the 1986 season, the Bears lost to Boston College, but defeated Washington State, then lost to San Jose State, following an embarrassing 50-18 loss at Washington on October 4th. Kapp expressed frustration at that by apparently, again, I'm just reporting some stuff, sometimes when I talk about some of these Diversity with Delilah folks, things just come up. But apparently he was frustrated by that and unzipped his pants in front of the Seattle media. He was notified that he would be released after the big game played in Berkeley. But the Bears responded to the student section's pregame chants, "Win one for the Zipper," by beating the Gator Bowl bound number 16 Cardinals 17-11, which gave Kapp a 3-2 record in the big game. So again, just a little topsy-turvy there in 1986, which gave Kapp a 3-2 record in the big game. He was carried off the field by his players amid chanting from the student section, "We want Kapp," echoing a cheer from his playing days with the Boston Patriots. So again, that was his infamy in college. So there you go. There's some stuff about him as a coach for the Golden Bears. All right, wrapping this up now. Kapp is a member of the Canadian Football Hall of Fame, the BC Sports Hall of Fame, the BC Lions Wall of Fame, the College Football Hall of Fame, and the University of California Athletic Hall of Fame. Kapp's number 22 jersey is one of 8 numbers retired by the Lions. In November 2006, Kapp was voted to the honor roll of the CFL's top 50 players of the league's modern era by Canadian Sports Network. Sports Illustrated, as it says, once called him the toughest Chicano. Kapp is the only player to play quarterback in the Super Bowl, Rose Bowl, and Grey Cup. In February of 2016, the San Jose Mercury News reported that Kapp was suffering of Alzheimer's disease, and unfortunately, he did pass away from complications of Alzheimer's in San Jose, California on May 8th, 2023. So actually pretty recent, this past year, at the age of 85. And so there you have it, the birthday of Delilah, Joseph Robert Garcia Kapp, the infamous or famous Mexican-American quarterback in the NFL, but also CFL, college, all across these different levels. So apparently he was quite a character. And so rest in peace, sir. Thank you for giving us some infamous tapes there. And yeah, so that is your The First with Delilah for today. Until next time, bye.
Yeah.